Alright everyone, welcome to the store creation module of the course, and in this lesson I'm going to be talking about creating your brand and developing your brand identity and the vision. So developing the vision. How do you develop the vision for your brand? The first thing I would recommend that you do is that you get inspiration from other big one-product brands. So I'm going to compile a list of one-product stores that I found and just go through that list, visit each and every store and see what they're doing, get a feel for it. That'll give you a lot of inspiration and it'll give you a lot of good ideas on where you need to be headed with your brand. Now the next step is to narrow down your niche. What's your brand all about? The narrower the better, right? You really don't want to go broad. If you go broad, you're competing with the likes of Amazon and eBay. So go narrow down your niche and figure out what your brand is all about. Why would your customers shop from you instead of anyone else, right? So what's the main thing that you have to offer as your brand? So think of the big picture. How will potential customers perceive your brand as they go on your website? What will they think? What will they think your main service is? Are they going to recognize right away? That's what these guys are offering. Or are they going to be confused and head off your website and go to Amazon because they don't trust it or they're confused? And that's why you want to narrow down your niche, right? You want to create a brand that you can position as an authoritative source within your niche. And that's key. So I'm just going to apply this to Flex Posture. When I was searching for products, I was searching within the health and beauty niche. But when I decided to test this posture product, I narrowed down my niche from health and beauty to just posture. So on this Flex Posture store, there's only posture improvement products. And the reason I did that is because I want the customers to perceive it as a brand that is an authoritative source for posture correctors, right? There's not that many brands that are authoritative sources for posture correctors. And what I wanted is that when people go on Flex Posture, when they see a Flex Posture ad with the logo and with the branding, they think right away, you know, this store sells posture correctors, and then they see the social proof on social media. It makes them think, okay, this is an authoritative source for posture correctors. So once I go on this website, I'm not going to go on Amazon and eBay and check because they're not going to have the same products as Flex Posture, right? That's kind of the whole idea that I wanted my customers to think as they were going through my website. Now, how do you choose your brand name? This is also a very important topic. You want to pick a name that's related to your product or to the niche, and this is really important. Obviously, you don't want to pick a general store name and use it for all your stores. For example, like Trend Deploy is a terrible name. Don't use a name like that. Pick a name related to your product or your niche. So in the Flex Posture case, I knew that I wanted to have the word posture in the name, and then I used a bunch of domain search tools and just thought of what word could go well with posture, and eventually came up with Flex Posture. So ideally, you want to look something with the .com extension available. .com is the most authoritative domain name extension. So if you have a .com, people will trust you slightly more than if you have like a .co, for instance, or other domain name extensions, .shop, things like that. So I would recommend trying to look for something with a .com. If .com is not available, my second choice is usually .co. Now, you want to pick something that is catchy, easy to say, and rolls off the tongue. So if your brand name is really difficult to say, it's probably not a good brand name because people aren't going to remember it, and it's not going to stick. So in my opinion, Flex Posture was quite catchy, it was quite easy to say, and it rolls off the tongue, right? It's easy to say, Flex Posture. And that's the type of thing you want. It could even be shorter. That's the only problem with Flex Posture. I think it could have been shorter, or I don't know. I think it's a pretty good name. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, it needs to be catchy, easy to say. And these are two tools that you can use. So leandomainsearch.com and then Shopify Business Name Generator. What these tools do is they allow you to plug in one keyword that you want in your domain, and then it's going to look for a bunch of suggestions by matching it with different adjectives or words that would go with the name that you put. So for example, if you put posture in that, it would give you a bunch of suggestions of domain names that are available for the .com extension with the word posture in it. So it might say like magicalposture.com, even though I doubt that would be available. So these are two great tools that you can use. Use them both when you're searching for domain name ideas, and just be creative, right? Sometimes you can think of something totally quirky and something that's really clever related to your niche. And if that's the case, we'll go with that because that'll do even better than just a generic name like Flex Posture. But basically, you really want the brand name to reflect. When people hear your brand name, they should know right away what is your brand. What is your brand's offering to the customers? Now, designing your logo, obviously another very important part. If you have a photo editor like Photoshop, you can design it yourself in just a few minutes. It's really not hard, especially with the current trend for how the logos are designed, right? Logos nowadays are extremely simple, extremely minimal, and clean, and that's what you want to do. And so it makes it easy for us who don't have very good design skills, right? You can really make a clean design yourself. So what I would recommend is using Photoshop to do this. Otherwise, you can use Canva. I've heard a lot of people making their own logos with Canva. And if you don't have the necessary skills, you can always purchase a logo on Fiverr. That's what I wrote here. So Fiverr.com offers logos for like $5. They're not as great, and usually it's not going to go along with your vision. It's not going to be as good if you do it yourself, because if you do it yourself, it can really align with the vision, right? The person who's designing the logo has no idea what your vision is for the brand. So unless if you do choose to go with the Fiverr route, be really picky. Tell them exactly what you want. So yeah, your logo, it must clearly communicate who you are as a brand. This is really important. And it must also be visually appealing. So a simple, clean design. So it's like the brand name, right? When people see your brand name, when people hear your brand name, they should know right away what your brand is. When people see your logo, they should know even more right away. What is this brand, right? And so this is, extremely important. So the general outline that I'll use to design a logo is that I'll find an icon or a cartoon image that I can use as the actual logo. And then I'm going to find a good font, and then I'm going to put them right next to each other, and that's going to be the website logo. So dafont.com is a great place to find design fonts. And so, for example, let's say that I was designing a logo for a dog store. And so I've already done an example with the dog store, and usually I go with the domain name pupmagic.com. So let's just say that you're creating the brand pupmagic.com. What I would probably do is I would go on Dafont, and then you can type in PupMagic. There's a preview section to let you preview fonts. So I would type in PupMagic, and then I would just go through a bunch of fonts, hundreds of different fonts, until I find one that matches the vision I have for the brand. So for a dog niche, it would probably be something like playful, kind of cartoony, but still modern and flat looking. And so I would find a good font, and then I would write up PupMagic in Photoshop. And then what I would probably do is I would go to Google, and I would search, an icon that can work well with dogs. So for example, a dog paw. I would look up dog paw, cartoon, PNG. PNG is going to allow you to find images with transparent backgrounds, and then I would save that image, put it onto Photoshop, and then there you go. I would have my logo. It would have a little paw icon, and then PupMagic. And then, you can customize the colors, whatever, to your liking. But that's the general thing you need to do for a logo, and that's exactly what I did for Flex Posture. So here are a few examples. So this is Flex Posture, the course case study. So as you can see, the logo is exactly what I said, right? I found this font on Dafont. I'm not sure exactly what the name of the font is, but I just wrote Flex Posture. I bolded the first word, flex, as you can see. So this word has more weight in terms of font weight. And then I added this little logo of a spinal, it's like a flat design for a spine, for the back, spinal cord or whatever. So this looks awesome, in my opinion, right? It really, when you see this, right away you think of posture. You see the word posture. It's pretty clear what this brand offers, right? It offers something related to posture health. Now, HiSmile also, smile, it has the word smile in it. The logo is like a big smiling mouth. So right away, this is probably, an oral hygiene brand or a teeth whitening brand. And that's the case. BlendJet. I really like this logo because it's extremely simple, right? Like, it's not even that hard to make a logo like this. It's really just being thoughtful about what you want to put off as a brand. So these guys, they just have a swirl, right? You could have literally probably searched swirl PNG on Google, and you would have found something similar to this. And then they just found a nice, simple, modern font. They italicized it a little bit, and they wrote BlendJet, TM. That's it. That's their logo. FitTea, same thing. They just have two words. They contrasted the words with one of the words has a color, and the other is just black. And then they have their little leaf icon right here on the eye. So that's a little more clever. They could have put the leaf just right here, but they decided to put it on the eye, which makes it, look a little bit more clever. Teamy, they did the same thing, right? They literally copied that I idea, so they have the same thing, and then they also have a contrast between words. T, and then the me is bolded. Now, the last example, Snow Teeth Whitening. It's a competitor to HiSmile, a direct competitor, and, I really like their logo as well. They have a super simple logo. They just have, like, this flat design of a snowflake, so they probably made this themselves. but you could find inspiration online if you just type in like Snowflake Modern or Snowflake Flat, and then they just found a really nice font and they wrote their brand name, which is Snow. So that's how you create your brand identity. That's how you develop the vision for your brand. And you want to do this because if you don't have a good brand identity, people are not going to trust your website and your conversion rates are going to take a hit. So make sure that you spend some time developing your brand identity. All right, I'll see you guys in the next lesson.